Good morning, good morning, good morning, you lovely lot. It is Friday morning. It is 9:45. I'm having some breakfast. I've packed the van. Well, I haven't packed the van, I've packed the bags to go in the van. And then Spog and I are hitting the road. I've left these to go cold now. Quick cuppa. And then off I go. Good morning. Again. Right, I'm in the van. Spog is ready to go, aren't you, Spog? Yes, Pip. So I'm heading sort of south this time, which is a bit different for me because I usually sort of head north. So I'm going in a different direction, and it's usually because I'm avoiding London traffic and what have you. But Surrey is a really lovely part of the world, and I haven't been to Surrey for a very long time. So I'm heading down to have a nice walk at a place called Box Hill. And there's Box Hill Fort, which is an old... it was built in 18-something or other, 1880. Yeah, late 1880s, I believe. I will check this just in case I got it wrong. As part of the UK's defence when we were less, what's the word I'm looking for? Sure of our navy capabilities, I think is how it was put. And when we were having some issues with Europe. We often come back and forth with issues with Europe. It seems to be a time-long tradition which could really do with being stopped. But yes, we were having issues with Europe, and it was like a last defence. 13 of these forts were built in a line to sort of protect oncoming invasion, or to be used as stores so that army personnel would be able to go there, meet and pick up supplies and what have you. So obviously it's not used anymore, hasn't been used for a very long time. In fact, I don't think it was ever utilised at all, but it was built. And there's also some really really nice other things to see while we're there. So I'm going to go and have a little pootle along to that part of Surrey, and hopefully you'll get to have a nice view over the Surrey Downs, the North Surrey Downs, and have a look at the chalk hills, because it's all very chalky like it is up here. And right, let's go. Just making a cuppa to take with me. I filled up a bottle of water. So we're at Box Hill. Like I said, it's an old army fort that, from my understanding, never actually ended up getting used. But it was there as a last defence for the UK should we be invaded back in 1880, 1890. So there's also some nice, I'm going to do the stepping stones walk, which, if it's not too flooded, I don't know what it's going to be like, we will do the stepping stones across the river. That's my plan. It might go horribly wrong if the walk's actually flooded. Now I need to find my socks that are normally in there, and they're not in there. My big thick chunky walking socks. Where are you? In my wardrobe of stuff, probably. I've tried to start keeping more stuff in the van, but that's like, till I've ripped all this out and redone it. Trying to find anything is a nightmare. Right, let's have a rummage. Found them. Right, I'll get these socks on, get my hiking boots on, and we can go. So one of the, well, the reason apparently that this place is called Box Hill is because there were a lot of box trees planted, which seems like an odd thing because box is not a native British tree. Usually we use box for hedging because it makes a nice box. But there's apparently copious amounts of it up here, and so that's why it's being called Box Hill for, well, for a very long time. But I don't think anyone really knows where the box came from. Somebody's obviously planted it at some point back in history. So yeah, I don't know, and we might find some info about it en route maybe, but as it stands at the moment I have no idea who planted the box or why they planted the box. There are supposed to be quite a lot of tree diversity. There's a walnut tree not far away, at least one. There's supposed to be quite a lot of yew trees. What else was there? Beech, I think. It's quite a dense beach area as well. So we are currently in the Surrey area of natural beauty in the North Surrey Downs. It's a very chalky landscape, much like the Chilterns, sort of, which is where I'm from. Oh, my tea's going to be going a little bit on the strong side. Oh, I'm just going to have to use a knife, aren't I? Because I'm faffing around looking for a... Ah! This is what happens when you get sidetracked. You forget you were making a cup of tea. Oh. But yes, hopefully you'll enjoy the walk. Sorry, I'm very disjointed, aren't I? So unprofessional. But yes, hopefully you'll enjoy the walk. I'll stop waffling now and I'll crack on with getting myself organised, and then I'll take you for a stroll.
Yeah. I think we've all had to.
So this is Box Hill Fort, built in the late 1800s during a crisis period in British history. It was part of the London Defence Scheme. So it was basically there to save the empire if, you know, we were invaded. So it said the 19th century saw revolutionary changes in military hardware and tactics. On the oceans, wood and sail were giving way to steam and steel. Large artillery guns were becoming much more accurate, and more destructive infantry rifles became quicker to reload. So yeah, there wasn't the faith in the Navy that there had been because of the changes in the way warfare was being carried out. So this was one of 13 military installations that formed a series of defences. That there is what it is like inside, obviously before it became as derelict as it is now. So apparently the British construction of warships had not kept up to pace with countries like France, and so that put us at risk from our enemies, and yeah, our forces were spread thinly across the whole of the country, and if London fell, then England fell. So yeah, well, Britain fell, not just England, the whole of Britain. It's an archway. I imagine these were defensive points, like rifle points or something. you could stick your guns through. All these doors were fortified with cannon-proof steel. And I guess these here, I did say had rifle points in it, so I'm guessing maybe that was where the rifles could be put through to defend should they be under fire. It's a shame you can't get in. You can see all the air vents. You can see a chimney over there to keep the place at the right temperature, to keep it cooled, to get rid of moisture. There's also vents in the roof. I mean, it's not as beautiful as a castle, obviously, but it is still a part of British history, and you know, that should be documented, and I'm glad it's being protected. I believe it's a grade 2 listed building, I think, if I remember what I've read correctly. Seems to be more points there for protecting themselves. Maybe not some appropriate graffiti. Yep. It's a shame about the graffiti. But that's people for you. We like to trash things and ruin things. Let's have a look up here. I mean, these are some thick walls. All concrete. They're probably steel lined. That would have had a gate or something on it. You can see the hingy bits there. There would have been some sort of gate or something blocking that. That door looks like it's been completely cemented up. Let's go round here. We'll be able to see the chimneys. Now, if you imagine back to when this was built, there wouldn't have been any of those trees there. Not these trees, there may have been some other trees, but I imagine this was picked because it's on the top of a hill. They could see for miles. They could see if they were being invaded. Put them in a really strong position, you know, to protect what's behind us, the rest of the country. Let's go down here and come back out through the archway. Then I'm going to take you on a hike through the woods and take across some stepping stones as long as it's not flooded. There's another door there that's been cemented up. Have a peek through. You're not invading us, go away. No, thank you. Wouldn't want to try and scale that, would you? Just having a chat with a very lovely couple that were telling me how to get to one of the other forts if I had time, which is a much bigger one. So we might go and have a look at that, we'll see. But you're saying it's a bit tricky to get to at the moment because one of the roads is closed. So that might be something to do on another trip, we'll see. Well, that's a very large yew tree. I do like the shapes that yew trees make. And they just bulge out and wrap themselves around each other and twist off in different directions. With their flaky bark. You will hear quite a few planes because we are not far from Gatwick Airport. And then there's also Heathrow, sort of in the other direction. Oh wow, look at that. Slowly rotting. Fantastic habitat for beetles and bugs. That would have been a very old tree. Look at that. It's very wide. Look at the rings. My goodness. Could probably be here just as long counting those, couldn't you? A whole lifetime. So somebody has just given me directions. I need to go down here and that'll take me to the stepping stones. But look at that, look at the colours. I mean, what an awesome time to come. So this is, what's the date today? I don't know, 9th of October, something like that. But just look, as the light hits all of those trees. It's gorgeous. And up on that hilltop, look at that. All oranges and yellows, greys. It's a bit windy, sorry people, but we are on the top of a hill. So I'm doing my usual thing of using Pokemon Go to help me find landmarks that these people have said to me, all right, you want to go to Riker's Cafe? Right, okay. It's bound to be a Pokestop, is it not? It's a gym. Excellent. That means I can just use my Pokemon Go to guide me in the rough direction. Let's check out the river. Couldn't see it, it was so overgrown, look. I was like, what river? I can't see a river. But there is a river. It is incredibly overgrown. Was originally sort of gate mechanism. Seen a few of these posts on my travels. Yeah, it must have been interesting. That's going to get my legs burning. I'm going to sit here, have a drink, nice glass of water, or a flask of water, and a snack, and borrow some energy from these yew trees. So while I'm sat here and it's quiet, I'll just fill you in on some news. We had an email from school yesterday. They had their first positive COVID case. But Kenzie, it's in the lower school, not the upper school. And Kenzie is in year 10 and this person was in year 9, so they're on separate sites. But they could potentially share buses or share buses with someone who had a class with that child. So 92 kids have been told to isolate who have had lessons and direct contact with this child. Have to happen sooner or later. Fruity sugar kick, brilliant for walks. Always take your rubbish home, people. Put that in there. Right. Another quick drink. And we'll tackle the rest of the hill. Right. You ready for some lunch when we get back? I made it. Ooh, look at all the acorns. Must be some very happy squirrels around here. Right, Spog is just through here, waiting patiently for me. Time for a cup of tea and maybe some toast or something. I'm back in Spog. Put kettle on for a cup of tea, and I thought, actually, while I've got the kettle on, I'm going to try one of these. I got them from Asda, not for Spog actually, but for like my lockdown cupboard, my, you know, in case we go into lockdown again, and or if we get ill and have to self-isolate. So it's kind of like a gluten-free version of oops, I don't even know if that's in focus. Gluten-free version of a pot noodle, but it's rice noodles. I've got a big ball of rice noodles and a packet of saucy stuff. So while the kettle's boiling, I'll have that for lunch. Classic Chinese style chow mein sauce noodles sprinkled with vibrant veg. Just add boiling water. Okay, so what do? Empty the contents of the seasoning sachet over the noodle nest and add 300 ml of boiling water. Okay, does it tell me where 300 ml is? Oh, I see. It'll take it up to that line. I guess that's when it's got stuff in it. That is the fill line. Right. I think I need to charge this phone up. It's dying a bit after that walk. Because I keep filming so much. And I insist on playing Pokemon Go while I'm walking. Right. Let's see what this is like. It's been sat there longer than it should. So it should be ready. It's very hot. It smells like a pot noodle. You hear my diesel heater, it whistles. Kev, why is my diesel heater whistling like an owl? Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo. Is it to do with the extra long pipe you gave it? I don't know. I might just message you. My van just wants you to come and tinker with it again, that's what it is. Tastes like a pot noodle. It's all right. It will do.